All right, we go to Janice Dean. She is the Fox News senior meteorologist and the author of a new book called Mostly Sunny. She is a strange person to be the spokesperson on this, but nobody else would stand up. And she had personal experience. Quickly, Janice, for anybody who hasn't been following your story, can you just recap why you are one of the leaders in speaking out against Cuomo?
My husband's parents died in separate elder care facilities in March and April. The end of March, we lost his father, and 2 weeks later, we lost his mom. The plan was we were going to have them in the assisted living residence close to our home. We spent months trying to find a place that would take both of them and would give them care that they needed. His dad was overcoming some health challenges, so we had him in a nursing home / rehab center to get him in better shape to join his wife, Dee. And then the pandemic happened. We were quarantined. We had no way of having, eyes or ears inside the elder care facilities on our own. So we relied on the people there. And we heard from a nursing home worker in late March that my father-in-law wasn't well, and 3 hours later he was dead. We had no lead-up time. We didn't know about the executive order to put over 9,000 COVID-positive patients into nursing homes. So, of course, we would have done something had we known that. A lot of people like to attack me on that. Well, why didn't you take them out? We had no idea. And then when I wasn't seeing the coverage, Glenn, on the news channels, especially the networks, not one news story on the executive order, why it was in place for 46 days, and then the subsequent cover-up of the numbers. There just wasn't the coverage, especially on CNN when Cuomo was with his brother doing the comedy hour with giant props. I mean, it made my blood boil. So I am not a political person, but this made me realize I have to become one to get into the game here, to get answers for my family.
So let's talk about the executive order before I go into what's new. Talk about the executive order, because it's phenomenal how this executive order had been scrubbed and what he was actually ordering nursing homes to do, much to the chagrin of nursing homes. In fact, they fought hard against this executive order.
They did. And I think, your question of why aren't they speaking out, they're afraid. They are afraid for their jobs. They're afraid they'll get fired. They are afraid of this governor. He is vengeful. He's mean. He's a bully. So, yes, March 25th, he mandated nursing homes to take COVID-positive patients. And then a few days later, he gave them blanket immunity. Why would he do that? If he knew that this policy was going to result in deaths, is that the reason why he gave them blanket immunity? So these are the reasons why I think maybe you're not getting those answers. But I will tell you that if we had an independent bipartisan investigation with subpoena power, we could get these people on the stand and find out the bottom of this mandate, why it was in place for 46 days. And then May 10th, when they finally reversed it, they scrubbed it from their health department website. So the governor, blaming all of these other people, like the nursing home workers. And at one point he was blaming the visitors. We weren't able to visit my loved ones. They died alone. So, that's one of the reasons why I am on this crusade for justice.
Now, last week, his office came out and said that they were hiding all of that information because they felt that the Trump administration was vindictive and they couldn't release those nursing home numbers. This week, he's come out and said that they had released all of those numbers. They were always transparent. In fact, do we have the audio that we played yesterday from Governor Cuomo in the press conference? And as I see it, lie after lie after lie. Listen.
The New York State DOH has always fully and publicly reported all COVID deaths in nursing homes and hospitals.
Okay, stop there for a second. Janice, is that true?
No, that is not true. That is the thing that Letitia James found in an investigation. She found the numbers. They were reporting numbers that were way undercounted.
And who is Letitia James?
Letitia James is the Attorney General of New York, a Democrat. who took it upon herself to conduct an investigation because we weren't able to find out until she did.
Okay, so there's lie number one. Continue with the audio, please.
Reported. Nursing homes had the most vulnerable population. We know that. COVID did not get into the nursing homes by people coming from hospitals. COVID got into the nursing homes by staff walking into the nursing home when we didn't even know we had COVID. Staff walking into a nursing home, even though they were asymptomatic, because the national experts all told us you could only spread COVID if you had symptoms. And they were wrong.
True.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you that putting over 9,000 infected patients into nursing homes is going to get them sick. He even said that at the beginning of this, that putting COVID, spreading COVID in nursing homes would be like fire through dry grass. So while I agree that nursing home workers could have definitely brought the virus in, I believe it was the fact that there were COVID positive patients that were the main reason why we had so many deaths. And by the way,
that were brought in from hospitals. They were COVID positive, and they were then transferred into these nursing homes. And the nursing homes were saying, we can't isolate them here.
Right. And in the mandate, Glenn, it also says they could not test them. So they could not discriminate against these patients by testing them to see if they had COVID. And then if you do talk to the nursing home workers, they were not prepared. There were people, they were dressed in garbage bags. They didn't have the PPE at all. They didn't have masks. They didn't have proper equipment. So you know what? It's all a lie. It needs to come out, Glenn. This guy continues, when he's asked the question, to skirt and deny and blame.
Well, Schumer yesterday ducked the question on his cover-up. Schumer won't talk about it. The left doesn't seem to be willing to talk about it. There are some in the State House that are Democrats that do want to call him on the carpet. I am shocked, at least from a distance, that we are not hearing from these administrators and these workers in nursing homes in New York that they are not everywhere. Because I have to tell you, if I knew that mandate had come down and they were forced to do it, you were thinking to yourself, this is going to put not only the patients, I'm in jeopardy as well. And then to be blamed for it by the governor is outrageous. Why is there not more outrage?
They're afraid. I think they're afraid, Glenn. And maybe it'll take a few. It's like, there's safety in numbers. When someone speaks up and stands up, then more people are apt to do that. But I think they are really frightened. A lot of them don't make a lot of money, but I've heard from them in private and say that that's exactly what was going on. They felt they had no choice but to take these patients, and they were not prepared, and they blame this governor.
Janice, as always, I thank you for all of the reporting you've done on this. I think you are one of the main reasons why this has been a story, because no one else is really following this. And I think the truth will eventually come out. I am so concerned about our press not telling the truth and bad guys getting away with things, especially when it comes to health and the death of people in hospitals and nursing homes, when they can get away with really bad policies and nobody stands up and says anything. That is just a dangerous trend for all of us. Odds that you think that he is going to pay a real price for this?
My gosh, I hope so. 15,000 deaths. I mean, why? Where is the outrage? More than 9/11, Katrina, double that. When we look back on this, Glenn, this will be one of the biggest tragedies of New York State history. I hope we get justice. I have the angels on my side, and, hopefully, they will win.
Janice, thank you. Thanks for your friendship. Thanks for all the hard work you do. God bless.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it.
You bet.